Hello there.
And welcome to part 23 of the Ultimate Guide to Dark Souls.
Yeah, and in this video we will be covering the Chasms of the Abyss. What we're doing right now is we are warping to the Oolacile Township dungeon, which takes us directly into the lair of Manus. A few things that you will come up against in here will of course be the humanity sprites and the standard Oolacile weird, the bloatheads. So this is the Oolacile Township dungeon where we are now gonna kindle this.
This is where we, like, the end point of the Oolacile Township guide that we stopped at in the last video.
So what we're doing now is we're kindling this just in case we do have to come back to it on the way to Manus, but I don't think we even had to. I don't think I had any trouble with the Chasm of the Abyss at all.
Now, this has a few good items in it, things such as Dark Bead and Black Flame.
And White Titanite Slab.
Yeah. So
It's
this
also
is
in here.
It's a good area. I mean, all the areas in the
And
DLC
there
are pretty
is
good.
an illusionary wall which leads you to
A
Sith.
little secret.
Yeah. You'll see that this is, it's quite a weird one. It took me a while to figure out what's going on.
Okay, so there's a crystal lizard coming up here, which is, I'm assuming is the last crystal lizard in the game.
Yeah, it would be, because there's none in...
I don't think there's any in the kiln.
There's none in the kiln, I can guarantee that.
That is
nothing
the last
lives in the
crystal
kiln, apart from Gwyn and his Black Knights. Nothing lives in the kiln.
So we put Ring of Fog back on there because
you can see the item at the back there, but there are a lot of bloatheads here, and there are a couple of bloathead sorcerers, and this is where you pick up Dark Bead, so we don't really want to aggro too many of them at once, especially if the sorcerers are going to be using Dark Bead, which will more than likely kill us in 2 hits if they're, focused on us.
Like I mentioned in the last video that you can get these things drop their headpiece as a helmet.
Yeah.
But the sorcerers also drop the catalyst, which is the Oolacile catalyst, which isn't
not
really
the
that
ivory
good.
catalyst, just the Oolacile catalyst. The Oolacile ivory catalyst, as you probably remember, is using it later on, earlier on in the playthrough. In fact, I believe we use it all the time, just because it's the best catalyst to use if you get under 25 intelligence. The Oolacile catalyst, however, scales like any other catalyst, it's just not very good at it. So, after picking up the Dark Bead and walking around, we're going to clear up this bloathead here, and we're going to proceed onwards through the Chasm of the Abyss. Now, at this point, we can continue going down. Of course, Castlight could help you here, but you've not got as close a view radius as you do in Tomb of the Giants, so it's not really an issue.
It's not a big deal. So
Yeah.
the first thing we're going to do is we're going to activate Alvina's little quest thing here. So
Yeah, you're going to want to take a left and just wait for the platform to fall. And you see Alvina there, and as we move forward, Alvina disappears and reappears. So there's Alvina there, and we're going to take on this humanity sprite.
now, a lot of people say that the humanities are difficult because they can gang up on you, but we've literally never had a problem with them.
With the halberd you've not got that much of an issue because of the reach that you can keep them at as well.
And there's Alvina's vision of her right there.
Yeah,
now
so this is the shortcut that we're going to take up. This takes us...
Now we just activate it with short.
Yeah, this takes us to the little building next to the path that leads down to Calamite. So you can use that for quick access. You cannot summon anyone for the Manus fight from up there because that shortcut does get boarded off with a fog wall. So clearing up these humanities. Now if you want to farm for humanity, these have the highest drop rate for humanity in the entire game, and there are quite a few of them, and there is a bonfire pretty nearby. So
this is an illusionary wall.
Yep, so we're going to burst through here, and what we're going to find is our dear old friend, the Great Grey Wolf Sith.
So this is like him in like a juvenile form.
Yeah, this is him at the same time when Artorias was... The whole point of this DLC is that Artorias has been sent back to take down Manus, but he's been corrupted by the Abyss, and before the Abyss took him, he put Sith in a protective shield, as you can see there, using the power of his great shield and the last remnants of his will, in case Sith, to protect him from these humanity. So that's exactly what we're going to do, is we're going to clear up these humanity, and we're going to free Sith. And get a relatively worthless reward.
Yeah, so by doing this you gain the cleansing great shield, and it's actually it's just not very good. Like, it is okay, it's a great shield and it probably has more stability than other things, but otherwise
it's just 80 for everything, 80 physical, magical, fire and lightning. It's not a very good shield. If I had 100 physical and 80 everything else, then it would be brilliant because it'd just be a lighter Havel shield, but it's not, so that is probably why Havel's shield costs 50 strength to use.
Maybe.
And the poise buff is good, but yeah, the cleansing great shield isn't really worth your time.
we are showing the shortcut now.
Yeah, I decided to show you guys just in case. I probably should have showed you the first time, but I was like, I'm so used to stepping on shortcuts and rolling off because the amount of times that I've played this game that I don't tend to take them all the way up to the top. So as you can see here,
Royalwood.
out of the Royalwood. So you're going to the right here. The path to the left, I believe, takes you back up to the Royal Gardens, does it not? The one on the left side of it.
Do. So that one there.
Yeah.
This one would take you back to the gardens. Okay, apparently we're showing that.
Yeah, I think this is the one that takes you up to where we grabbed the armour. So you can see there's a straight run from Sanctuary, from the Oolacile Sanctuary all the way here, and then you can just take a lift down to Manus as well.
So it's a very cosy area of the game. Everything's all nice and interconnected.
Yep, everything looks like it's fit in the amount of space it's taken to do the... all this entire thing, it's fit in the same space as Undead Parish and Darkroot.
Yeah.
So it's not actually that big an area. Of course, you probably found it by now that Oolacile in the Royalwood actually is Darkroot. I've already mentioned it before, I think.
Continuing on, there's a few more items we're going to get. That there is an item from one of the humanities that we killed.
Yeah, it's a humanity.
So down here, I think is Black Flame. So I think that's what we're getting next. Black Flame is a pyromancy as opposed to a sorcery,
like the rest of the blackened spells that we've gotten.
It's interesting that they never gave us any offensive miracles. You'd think that they would have given a force miracle or something, like a dark one.
Yeah.
Seems like that would have been an appropriate thing to give us, but whatever.
I suppose they couldn't think of a lightning bolt and give it the name Black Lightning, could they?
Nah, apparently not.
Oh well. Yeah, because light isn't black. Just in case you guys didn't know that. Yeah, these humanities aren't really that difficult. A single poke from the halberd knocks them back anyway, so... This isn't the Black Flame, I don't think.
No, this is.
Oh no, it is a Black Flame. I was thinking of a completely different area. Never mind. Well, so yeah, as you can see, they do a little bit of damage, but it's not even worth the effort. So Black Flame's a pyromancy. It does less damage than Great Combustion, but it does physical and fire damage, which means it does a lot more stability damage on the shield.
Yeah, so
which
you can
means
break poise with it.
Yeah. If people are blocking, then it means that the Black Flame will get through the shield quicker, or if they're wearing a heavy set of armour, it means it will take less uses of the Black Flame when compared to the use of Great Combustion to stagger them or break poise.
Yeah.
So continuing on up here is where we're going to go to get to the next area. Yeah, that was the item I was thinking was Black Flame for some reason. But that is just a humanity.
So a guaranteed humanity there, and this takes us back to near enough the beginning-ish area of the Chasm of the Abyss.
Yeah, you would have seen us. Yeah, you'd have seen us walking
were.
down, and you would have seen all the humanity down on the right. So what we're going to do, there's no reason to go through all these humanities, so we're just going to take a shortcut down.
And here is where you get one of the carvings.
Did that humanity just walk off the cliff?
Yeah, apparently never even hit it. So that's the help me
I'm
carving.
so unhappy I missed that. That'd have been baller if I had it.
And that getting that carving drops you down here to get the Black Flame.
Yeah.
So this is all sort of,
Yeah, the reason why we went the other way though is because you don't want to get trapped in a corner with those humanity, because that is when they can group up on you, and because they don't damage you like hit for hit, they just constantly damage you. You can burn away pretty quickly.
Yeah, they just sort of like lay on you and yeah.
Yeah, because that's what pure humanity does to someone apparently.
So back up here, and now we can move on. So down this giant rocky column.
Yeah, be careful, because as you know with Dark Souls, when things are slanted at a certain angle, they tend to have bullshit invisible walls that knock you off, so just be careful. We're going to go under this thing first of all, because we're going to pick up the twin humanity again. So there's a lot of humanity in this cavern.
Yeah,
and you go to the left to take Manus, but we're going to take the pathway on the right, because this is where the White Titanite slab is, the second one available to you in the game for picking up, which is great. So if you've not quite got to your plus 10 divine weapon or your plus 10 occult weapon, now you've got a chance to have one of each. So just going to ignore that humanity, because I tried 3 times to hit it, I only hit it once and I just gave up. So.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, who cares, it's too slow anyway, it can't pass through walls like the Anor Londo ghouls, so I don't really care for it. Now, there is a video online, which we will be doing our own version of it soon, I believe. You can kill Manus from up here without even entering the boss fog.
Yeah. Essentially, we'll just describe it now, but obviously we'll show it later. Now, down like in the blackness, you can just fire arrows down there, and eventually you'll hit Manus, and then if you just keep firing in that direction, you can kill him before you don't even need to fight him. You can just kill him right there and then. All
you need to do then is, as soon as you walk into the boss fog, you immediately get the souls for it. So there you go, and there's Soul of a Hero. And just in case you guys didn't notice, in the Chasm of the Abyss, I don't know if it's everywhere in the game, I've only just noticed it there actually. Dropped items are gold, items you pick up are white.
No, I mean that's everywhere.
Has that been everywhere? Because
Yeah.
I've never noticed the colour difference because I rarely get a drop next to an item pickup. So
you take off your Ring of Fog, obviously, because that doesn't work for bosses.
yep,
Make
we put on Chloranthy Ring for stamina regen because Manus is another hyper aggressive boss.
And again, high stability shield you've got is going to be your
Yep.
friend. for
So
this.
because we took off the Black Knight shield and put on the Balder shield, the Black Knight shield being a little bit lighter, the Black Knight shield being a little bit heavier, when we switched to the Balder shield we managed to put on our Xanthus gauntlets, which gave us a little bit more defensive properties, and we still stayed at the under 25%, which we've done for I believe every single part of this playthrough, because I see no reason to go above 25%. If you can get your invincibility frames down right, if you can manage your stamina properly, you'll never need 50% weight. Other than, of course, if you want to go for a hefty poise build, in which case you'd use the Wolf Ring and Havel's Ring to get as much poise as possible.
Yeah.
So as you can see here, Manus is essentially a giant. Well, he's known as the primordial man.
We personally think he's the pygmy.
I have solid reasoning for it, and the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to summon Sif. Now, Sif, as far as I'm aware, can't actually affect the Manus fight in any way. He doesn't give Manus any more health or any more attack damage because he's a summon from inside the room.
Yeah, it doesn't.
So it seems like it doesn't stack Manus in any way. I have just as much ease with Manus on my own as I do with Sif anyway. So
Now,
yeah.
Initially we thought that Sif didn't do any damage to Manus. It turns out he does do a little bit of damage.
Yeah.
You just need to look very closely.
Yeah, he does about the same damage to Manus with a single hit as we do with. I think we do more damage than Sif to Manus. So as you seen, he just took a little chunk there. We do like 180 damage, 170 damage. Sif seems to be hitting around about the 140 mark. So Manus, as you can see, hyper aggressive, so just get ready to block, and of course the Chloranthy Ring, as ever, giving us just impeccable stability. Endurance to maintain our stability.
Yeah.
Because even though we are blocking, the Chloranthy Ring is still giving us, look, each hit we're regaining almost full stamina before he swings another, while blocking, which is beautiful.
So he has a number of attacks here. He has that sort of one main attack, like that slam attack is. He's like, you can just see he runs at you, he's got his hand up. His main attack, like where it's the combo, it can actually be blocked fairly easily, despite how aggressive it looks.
Yeah. If you get caught in it, don't worry, if you're at full health you more than likely will not die. Manus doesn't have a chunk of damage, he's just got loads of HP and he is incredibly aggressive. So he's more of a, I think these bosses in this DLC were designed more to get you into like a sort of panic, because in PvP, because I mean this came out quite a while after the game was out, so you get used to PvP, you get used to the bosses in the game. You don't really see a lot of people in PvP putting on extreme amounts of pressure, going hyper aggressive or anything like that, so I'm assuming this was just a way to sort of catch the PvE players off guard with stuff like this. So what we're doing now is we're putting on a silver pendant, because when Manus gets under 50% health he starts to use his sorceries. So Manus is incredibly easy until the 50% mark. You just have to learn to block him, just have to avoid his attacks, let Sif take the aggro once in a while, because Sif, as you can see, is just as tanky as Manus for whatever reason.
I think Sif must actually has about like 4 or 5 times as much health as Manus actually has. I think way more than that. Like he has like 20,000 health.
So there you go. He's about to use his sorcery, so just above the 50% mark. But as you can see there, silver pendant holding them off, and of course one more blast, the silver pendant would have probably retained that enough for it to fade away. If the silver pendant does hold anything on top of it, just proceed to roll away. Be careful as well when you're behind Manus. That weird arm of his, he can throw it directly behind him and hit you without turning or giving you any warning. So just be careful of that, of course. So Sif's taking chunks here, and yeah, I'm going to go into a little bit why I think Manus is the pygmy, just because of where the camera was. Now directly behind us you can see a grave, or a tomb by the looks of it, which is relatively human sized, and in the lore it is believed that the pygmy who got the dark soul was of course corrupt by it. We're just standing next to the grave right now. He was corrupt by the dark soul, and in order to save himself he put the majority of his power into the pendant, not the silver pendant, the broken pendant that we've got from the Duke's archives to give us access to the DLC.
Is that?
Yeah, it's the broken pendant.
No, I mean, is that actually it? Because
The
I'm sure
belief
it's different from that.
The belief is that the power for the Dark Soul, for some of the Dark Soul, was placed into the pendant, and what eventually happened was that the people of Oolacile, after realising that the source of power for the Dark Soul was the pendant, they took the pendant from the pygmy. They just dug him up and they'd taken it. And what happened was the pygmy had risen from his grave after realising the majority of his power was gone. The Dark Souls relighted a flame in him, and he, of course, became corrupt. He wanted nothing more than to find his beloved silver pendant.
It's kind of like Gollum.
Yeah, essentially, Manus is looking for his precious being the silver pendant that contains the rest of his power.
No, broken pendant.
The silver pendant is the broken pendant.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
How is it?
Because the broken pendant we find in the current time, the silver pendant is back in time, remember?
I guess that does kind of make sense.
The silver pendant would have been broken in two upon the death of Manus. The townspeople should have broken the pendant in two upon the death of Manus and released the Dark Soul upon Lord Ran, which is why, boom, the fire's going out, we need to protect, we need to kindle the flame, stuff like that. So that is essentially why I think Manus is the pygmy, because he's the only person who hasn't been mentioned. Pygmy's been missing from the Dark Souls campaign story, whatever you want to call it, ever since the start of it. You only ever see him in the intro. Manus is the only proper boss in the game you could compare to the pygmy, because we know that the Bed of Chaos is the Witches of Izalith. Bed of Chaos used to be believed as the pygmy, but we know that's wrong. So Manus it would have to be, because this does look relatively like the chasm the pygmy found the Dark Soul in.
Yeah, it makes more sense for Manus to be the pygmy than it doesn't.
Exactly.
Okay, so now we've killed Manus, you get the soul of Manus. Now you can do three things with it.
And look who's been released.
You can consume it. You can use it to craft the Manus catalyst,
which is a catalyst that scales both. It's an A in strength scaling and an S in intelligence, and the strength does contribute towards the magic adjustment as well on that catalyst.
Yeah.
And with the black sorceries also scale with strength, so you get more damage if you're on a strength intelligence build using the Manus catalyst. And of course the other option is
to give Manus' soul to Snuggly. Whoever the idiot was to actually do that wasn't an idiot, and then you get Pursuers from it.
Yeah.
And Pursuers is basically like
crystal homing soul mass, except a fuck ton more annoying.
Yeah, so that's
just
what
showing
you
you
Manus'
yeah.
soul.
And right now we're just showing you the grave of the pygmy, or where Manus had risen and of course spread the abyss. So we're not going to kill Dusk. I've always killed Dusk for whatever reason, I don't know why. We're not going to kill Dusk because if we leave her alive and we go back to Oolacile Gardens, we talk to Elizabeth. She will give us the Elizabeth mushrooms, one of the most broken items in the game.
Now, obviously, if you're at this point in the game, you don't really even need the Elizabeth mushrooms. I guess they could be handy for
3 fights in PvP.
Yeah, or kill them if you're doing Gwyn.
I suppose if you're having trouble with Gwyn, then 3 Elizabeth mushrooms would really turn the tides of battle in your favour. Considering they take less time to take than an Estus, and overall they heal you quicker than an Estus.
It's insane.
Because the time it takes you to go through the animation and for the health bar to hit on the Estus, you can consume an Elizabeth mushroom and you can gain 3/4 of an Estus flask's healing within that time. And it just keeps healing you. I think it's about...
Also, she says terrible primeval human. Now, primeval...
being the first of...
Or something like that. Or it implies anyway.
Primeval is, I believe it's Latin, where prime meaning first. So, primeval would be the first of evil man.
Yeah, primeval does kind of mean like the first of.
Yeah,
the pygmy meant to being the first of all the humans.
Yeah,
so
the literal definition that we did look up just there was it's a definition for the earliest of ages in history, where of or resembling the earliest ages in the history of the world is meaning one, and the second meaning is of course just talking about the more sort of
like primitive,
primitive, that kind of thing, like your
kind
primeval urges, where your urge to hunt, to kill, that kind of thing, the stuff that many animals still retain today. But so Manus being the first of, and we know that one of the first humans was the pygmy,
the
because
pygmy
that's
was the first human. So
that's how it became about, because the human pygmy found the Dark Soul and with it created humankind essentially, so we're believed to be this evil monstrosity, just like the real world.
So now
number one predator.
As far as I'm aware, we are off to kill the rest of the NPCs.
Are we killing NPCs in this video? I thought it was in...
We kill Marvelous Chester, I think.
Yeah, of course, we need to kill Chester because we want his armor set.
Yeah, so we're going to
kill Chester, have we not? I'm sure we killed Chester after Artorias, did we not? Or maybe maybe that was the last time you read it and stuff. I might have seen it skip through. Can't remember.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're off to kill Chester right now.
But we've definitely killed Ghey, who is the hardest boss in the game.
And Lord's Blade Kieran.
Yeah, Lord's Blade Kieran's easy. She's just
really,
a bit tanky.
It really makes more sense for you to just kill all the NPCs in the DLC if you want to get everything, because the fault with killing all the things in the DLC is you don't lose anything from doing it. That's where they kind of fucked up.
You do, because if you kill Ghey before you kill Calamite, then you can't kill Calamite.
Yeah, but if you do, well, I'm sure you can if you
no,
kill
because
Calamite.
you need Ghey to shoot Calamite down.
No, that's not true, because you can kill Calamite if you shoot him as soon as you see him before you even talk to Ghey.
Yeah, but that's a glitch.
It's not a glitch. That's actually meant to happen because you get different text.
Do you?
Yeah, you get different dialogue from Ghey if you do that.
I've never seen anybody kill Calamite first time. Like, as in, boom, arrow, deep.
No.
No, fair enough. So this is Chester's set. Now it's not a particularly good set. It's just it looks baller as all hell. It's a light set. It's got good armor it's got good defense to weight ratios. It doesn't offer any.
It's nothing
poise.
compared to the Sage Robe or anything like that.
No, it's nothing compared to that. But it does look fucking awesome.
Yeah,
as you can see here, it does look.
So that is one
beautiful.
Good way, like one reason for using it, because it looks great.
Yeah, you've got like this sort of like black long duster coat thing on. It looks pretty fucking good. I like Chester's set. It is aesthetically pleasing to mine eyes.
Yeah.
So that pretty much sums up this video by the look of it. I think all that's left at this point is to go back to Oolacile and warp to the Kill and get ready to smash the ever-loving shit out of Gwyn again.
Yeah, so in the next video we will be killing all the other NPCs that are left in the game.
Yep.
And doing Gwyn.
That'll take up... Killing the NPCs will take up the majority of the video.
We may split that up.
Around.
We should probably do the killing all the NPCs as a separate thing.
Yeah,
maybe.
I don't waste any time with Gwyn. I get sick of it. I mean, the longer you're in a fight with Gwyn, the more likely you are to make mistakes, so I just end them pretty quickly. And at this point, of course, putting our strength up to 20 and our dex to 16, now we can wield the sword. That's what the last couple of minutes on this were, I think.
Now we can use the Obsidian Greatsword.
Did we show the Obsidian Sword? I cannot remember.
We were able to use and show the moveset.
Oh yeah, because we could two-hand it with 18
Yeah.
strength. Yeah, you're right. You can actually two-hand the Obsidian Sword with 13 strength. No, 14 strength you need.
Yeah,
because that puts you at 21. So yeah, you would need 14 strength to use it.
So,
But
yeah,
that's besides the point. We're going to finish
the video.
this, and we'll see you guys in the next video where we kill everything that's left to kill.
Hope you enjoyed that. Rate, comment, subscribe.
See you guys later.